Good day, everyone. Welcome back to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe, and together, let's take our power back. Better still, let's stop giving it away. Let's uncover the true potential that lies within. There's a practitioner inside all of us, okay? Now, when I say this, I truly mean this, all right? You need to understand something, that you have to go from client or patient to practitioner. How's it working that you pay people to look after your body when they might only see your body an hour a week, maybe on maximum? So you're going to tell me that somebody who sees your body an hour a week, you're going to put them in charge of the most important thing on this planet. Remember something, your body is your vehicle. And that vehicle, don't you want a beautiful ride? Do you actually think you're going to get a beautiful ride by somebody who's only with you for an hour? And then understand something. Every practitioner is limited to their own belief systems. You know, before I even go to a practitioner, I'd want to know what their belief systems are. Are their belief systems unlimited? Are all the things that they're going to teach me and all the knowledge they're going to teach me, is it about actually empowering me? Or are they just going to tell me that I need a treatment again next week or in 2 weeks? Or, hey, why don't you sign this package? I'll give you a discount if you sign it for 6 months or you sign it for a year. And understand something. Do you want to manage pain or do you want to master it? Now, how do you master pain? Well, you're not going to get rid of pain completely. I don't mind the little pain that I feel right here, right now. Okay, I don't have any other pain in my body, but if we were to close our eyes and just relax and think about where we feel a little bit of pain, there's always going to be a teeny bit there because pain is your GPS. Now, the only time that pain does not become a GPS and becomes a pain in your S is when you made pain your enemy. And when you make pain the responsibility of your practitioner, your doctor, whoever. My doctor's, he's responsible for helping to relieve me of my pain. Well, for one thing, he can't relieve you of your pain because pain is your GPS. It's going to let you know when you're emotionally or physically off track. All right, you're off track. And guess what? Are we ever off track? I mean, whether you want to believe it or not, I'll tell you something right now, is that the systems that everybody is using, not everybody, but let's say 90% of the population is using, are collapsing. Well, of course they're collapsing. 92% of the population has autoimmune disease, which I mention all the time. All right, there's a 42% chance, is close to the study they have right now, that you're going to, 42% of the population are going to end up with cancer in their lifetime. All right, and then where are you going to go to treat the cancer? Okay, because do you want to treat the cancer or do you want to treat the body? And guess what? There's so much chaos in our world right now because it's our minds. Our minds are chaotic. And guess what? Whether you believe it or not, the media and corporations have known how to make you go nuts. How does it feel to be nuts? How does it feel to, instead of having excitement, to have anxiety? Isn't that just great? You're dumping adrenaline, cortisol, continually just drip, drip, drip into the body. And it's not a big deal. It's only a drip, but 24/7, you know, a lot of people get home and they're exhausted, but guess what? They can't sleep and they can't relax. All right, because we just haven't learned how to master the mind, to master the body, to master the day. And that's what it comes down to. Look, everybody out there, I'm going to do my very, very, very best. And I'm going to create the most powerful library that doesn't give you information that you have to come to me, but to create a library that will give you information that you don't have to keep coming to me or anybody else. Okay, go to the Doc of Detox library. You'll see it. Go check out the Perfect Day Guide. Go to page 37 and then read about 20 pages. Also, I just want everybody to know there was a question that I read already that came in where somebody said, Dr. Wolfe, I missed signing up for the A to Z Wellness Masterclass. And guess what? We've decided that if you're going to come on and watch this show, this Q&A, we're going to give you a break, okay? So those of you who still want to sign up that you haven't been able to, share it with your friends, share it with your family. Go to my website, Doc of Detox, go to the front page, go up to where you'll find the library to check that out, but you'll find Masterclass. Go in there and then just type in Master in the code. Doesn't matter if it's capitalized or not. And then fill it out. You will have to put your Visa, MasterCard information. You've got my my word that will never charge you, and you're in there for life. And when you go there, you go check out the videos that you have problems in your body, and then please go into the A to Z Master Class Guide. Go to page 5, read 20 pages, and tell me if I didn't blow your mind. Tell me if I didn't show you what 99.9% of all practitioners have missed is this. The human body always overcompensates loving you. Okay? Did you get that? The human body always overcompensates loving you. Okay? And I'll tell you why. Because it wants to protect you. Because your body wants to live. It wants to not just survive. Don't give me survive. Give me thrive or nothing. Now, what your body will do, we know that all disease, all injuries, doesn't matter what it is, disease or injuries, okay, or pain in the body, at the root cause is always inflammation. Now, the longer you have the inflammation and the more inflammation you have, the more scar tissue the body will send to that area, the more calcium that will be pulled from the bones around the area, and the more crystallization from lactic and uric acid that gets sent to the area. Now, why is this? Well, first of all, the calcium is pulled because the calcium buffers down the acidity. Who wants mutated cells? Who wants necrosis of their tissues, tissue death? Who wants necrosis? No. Your body says, I'll give up the calcium from the bones so that we don't get mutation in the cells and tissue death. I think that's a fair deal. Okay? Because that's the way it's meant to be, to buffer down, to alkaline. Now, why the crystallization? Because it's the glue. It glues the tissues together, and when the fibrin comes in to be laid down, you actually use this glue to lay it. What happens is the body just lays it randomly, like bulk. That's why you say, oh, I've got a knot here, I've got a knot here, I've got a knot here. I don't feel I've got range of motion in my knee anymore. You know what I mean? So that's the glue, but the body will continually send fibrin, send the glue, fibrin, which is the scar tissue, the glue, which is the lactic uric acid, and the cement to buffer everything down and to hold it together, the calcium. Now, so what we need to do is learn how to master pain, because that's inflammation. You master the pain, you master the inflammation. That's not called taking drugs, because I understand sometimes, drugs are amazing. They can help you to reduce the pain, especially in car accidents, injuries, and things of that nature. And we don't want people to suffer, but you will suffer if you use medication to get rid of your pain on a continual basis. So now, here's the kicker. I am getting older, but I'm not old. So what's the definition of old? In pain and stiffness. That's it. That's all it is. Pain and stiffness. Oh, it sucks to get old. Well, here's the deal. Every time that you have an injury, whether you were 8 years old playing soccer, 12 years old, 22 years old skiing, or you just lifted something up and you tore out a muscle, the body always leaves scar tissue, calcification, and crystallization behind. Here's the deal. I developed what was called Wolfe non-surgical deep tissue therapy. We go in, we put the calcium back into the bone, melt the crystallization, turn the scar tissue back into connective tissue, and what do you got? You got a vibrant, healthy person thriving, not surviving. Oh, I'm a survivor. If I have to hear people keep going on about, I'm a 5-year survivor, I'm an 8-year survivor, okay? All right? That's not what you want to do. Society is always going to want for you to opt for less, right? When there's just so much more. And the only reason why you're going to continually opting for less is because you are limited by your beliefs. That's it. You're just limited by your beliefs because you go to a practitioner that limited your beliefs. And you listen to people that are already limited. Look it. When you go to a practitioner, you want to be empowered, not scared, not push the panic button, and that's the deal. Do you ever notice that there's a whole sector out there that cause you to panic all the time? Why? Because when you panic, you don't think right, do you? All the blood leaves your brain, leaves your heart, okay, and goes to your extremities. So now we don't make very good thinkers, do we? Okay? So I want you to go take a look at the masterclass. Go into the perfect day. Go to page 37. Read 20 pages. Go to the A to Z Wellness Guide in the masterclass. Read 20 pages. And then I want you to go and do the Braveheart 12 Loving Steps. Watch the video and take a look at the pictures. And at least do the love band, do the mirror work, and do the couples connection. And if you're not married and you don't have someone with you or a partner, then do the mirror work, okay? Do the personal connection. Do that for me, and then tell me that you're not amazing. You are amazing, okay? Let's keep moving. All right, so I want you to take a look. Yan, did we get that up yet, the video from Del Bigtree?
Yes, it is up.
Okay, everybody, I want you to take a look on my Facebook. Did you put it up on Instagram too?
Instagram hasn't been handled.
And YouTube?
YouTube, yes.
Okay, so Instagram will be getting it, guys, but it's up on YouTube and it's up on Facebook. Check this out. I mean, Del Bigtree, who was the director of Vaxxed, okay, and he was just on my show. I hope you know we had like 42,000 views on Friday's show on Q&A on vaccinations. So thank you, everyone, for making it such a success. Okay, but anyways, go watch the video we just put up. It's from the World Health Organization, and if you want to blow your mind, watch this and then start passing this around, please. Okay. Also, in the future, I will be having on Dr. Andrew Wakefield, okay, who is the whistleblower with the CDC and vaccines, okay? All right, and you'll find out what they tried to do to him, but all he was trying to do was help you, okay? All right, now this week's schedule, all right, Tuesday, I have my New World Practitioner meeting for you practitioners out there that are in training with me. Also, Wednesday, I'll have on 3 o'clock, all right, Dr. Patrick Quillen, okay, and this is called The 12 Keys to a Healthier Cancer Patient. Okay, now this is an amazing show. This guy has so many great facts and information. And then Thursday, we're doing a Q&A. So after you watch the show, just put your questions in, or you can ask them live like we're going to do today, okay? All right, I think we're ready to roll. Sorry I'm so chatty, okay? But I just wanted you to have all this information. All right. Laura from Facebook. Hi, Laura. How to treat diverticulitis, where to start. Fiber seems to make it worse. Well, okay, first of all, just so you know that over the age of 40, 60% of the population have diverticuli. Now, diverticulitis, you don't know you have diverticuli or diverticulosis. That's the condition. You don't know you have that until you're inflamed. Diverticulitis. Oh, the itis. Itis means inflammation. Arthritis, colitis, sinusitis. It just means inflammation. It's not a disease. It's just a symptom. Oh, wait a minute. What's the itis? Inflammation. What did I say earlier? Inflammation was the key. If you knew how to master pain, you could master inflammation. But you don't master pain by suppressing it or masking it. You master pain and inflammation by mastering your mind first, which masters your body, creating yourself the perfect day. You got to turn the burner down and then eventually turn it right off. And you got to stay connected to your breath. So here's the deal. So where are diverticuli? First of all, diverticuli, we had this question asked last time, but I know it's a big deal, so I'll answer it again. Well, it's not the same question, but. So diverticuli, what it is, okay, your colon is 7 feet long. That's your large intestine. Your small intestine, okay, so we're going to go, I'm going to eat 4 inches of pleasure, 30 feet of hell for most people, and then it's going to go from my mouth, down my throat, into my stomach, where then your stomach acts like a washing machine, trying to mix up all the enzymes and the hydrochloric acid. But the reality is most people don't chew their food that well, do they? No. You should be chewing your food to the point that it's a liquid, and then you should be putting liquids in your mouth and then swishing them around to move the enzymes around them too. So we want to we want to chew our liquids and drink our solids. Do you understand? I hope you do. Okay. So once that goes down to the stomach, then it goes from the stomach into the small intestine, which is 22 feet. And then it gets to the large intestine. But what if you didn't drink enough water? What if you didn't eat enough fiber? Okay. What if you did cheese that's like putting a cork up your butt? All right. So we know that by the time it gets to the large intestine, which is 5 to 7 feet long, it has what they call hostras all the way through because it moves like a snake by the time it gets down there. Through the small intestine, it's more liquidy, so it'll just go down, right? It's like that mountaintop river slide, right? And then when it gets to the large intestine, it's drier because you've been absorbing some of the moisture from it. Because by the time it gets to your large intestine, we want to start forming it so it's a stool, so it doesn't come out like water in the toilet. But here's the problem: because we don't drink structured water, we don't drink enough of it, we don't eat enough fibrous foods that have enzymes in them and minerals for electrolytes to create the energy. The waste comes in and gets stuck along the walls, right? The hostras, it'll get stuck along the walls because it gets dry and sticky. You know, the booger in your nose, the wax in your ears, okay? Every orifice, otherwise every hole in our body will have mucus come out when we're inflamed. Inflammation causes mucus, and the mucus is caused to protect the mucus lining so that you don't get ulcerations and that you don't get leaky gut. And in your ear, you're not getting leaky gut, but the mucus in your ear, excess mucus would be to protect in case of inflammation so you don't lose your hearing. How's that one? But meanwhile, there's tons of people with tinnitus now because they're so inflamed, right? Okay, so let's get back to the diverticuli. So the waste gets caught on the hostras, and what happens is when the waste gets caught in the pockets, what happens is as the waste putrefies, good bacteria goes to bad bacteria. Bad bacteria give off a gas. And when it gets stuck on the wall, there's no oxygen here. So that's going to create inflammation. After a while, it starts wearing on the large intestine on the wall. And what happens is it'll create, just like the bulge in a tire, it'll have a bulge. It'll actually bulge out. And that's what a diverticuli is. The diverticuli is actually, here's your large intestine, and there's a bulge right here. And that is full of a turd. That's a dry old turd. That's it right there. And that little turd, the older it gets, the more putrefactive the bacteria get. Now, let's say that it's just sitting there, and I just got diverticuli, and I went out and I had some ice cream, and then I went out and I partied and I drank some alcohol. That's too much sugar, creating too much inflammation. The weak links in the body are going to blow out, and that's wherever you are the weakest. So did you ever notice something? When I get tired, my neck hurts. When I get tired, my knees hurt. When I get tired, my low back hurts. When I get tired and I wear myself down and get stressed out, my tumor grows. Are you getting this yet? Inflammation nation, eh? So what happens is you got to get rid of the diverticuli. So what she was saying, Laura was saying that the more she eats, okay, when she eats fiber now, okay, that the fiber will irritate it. Well, that's because it's already irritated. If something's already inflamed, and like if I had an inflammation here, and I scratched it, and I just took my finger and I scratched myself here where there's no inflammation, I'm not going to feel it. It actually will feel good. Oh, that's a good itch. I got that scratched. And then I have inflammation here, and I run my finger along it. It's going to burn and pain because there's already inflammation there. That's just like people who want to get well, okay, and they spend all this money and to go for therapy, it doesn't matter what therapy, if your inflammation's high, you're never getting well, so you can forget it. I don't care how many drugs you take, how much surgery you get, how much emotional therapy you get, or even how much massage, how much acupuncture, how much chiropractic. If you are high in inflammation, you can kiss it goodbye because you've got to bring the inflammation down first. So let me just say this. I didn't bring these out because I read that because that just came in. But if you get yourself on the daily cleansing tea and follow the instructions, you can call me and then get yourself on black gold. And then also get yourself on what's called tummy love. And you're going to get rid of those diverticuli. And guess what? Those outpouches, they're actually going to heal and come back in. Isn't the body amazing? You know what? I'm going to say something right now. And I am getting so much of this right now, and people texting me, calling me, Dr. Wolfe, I saw your A to Z masterclass, wellness masterclass, and in there you say that, you know, you have a money back guarantee on the first treatment, that even a person who says that they've got bone on bone in their knee or their hip, that you can reverse it. I can't reverse it. No, your body can. You know, here's the thing. Well, hold on a minute. I went and got an x-ray, and my doctor said I'm bone on bone. And I go, hold on a second here. First of all, the x-ray is showing the truth. You're not bone on bone. The cartilage and the tissue has actually calcified and crystallized, and it all looks like bone. Now, if we can. When we get in there and we can restore the circulation, and we can actually pull the scar tissue apart around the whatever joint it is, we're going to actually, other things that we do, we're going to increase the circulation, that the calcium will go back into the bones, crystallization will melt, scar tissue will turn back into connective tissue. And I'll tell you right now, after the first treatment, I don't care what joint it is or where it is on your body or what muscle it is, you're going to feel better, or we're not going to charge you. And the thing is why am I doing this? Is because your body is amazing. And I want to say this in the best way, because medicine, thank God we do have medicine, because they save lives. But at the same point, you have to understand they're the leading cause of death in North America in the health industry. Okay? And I'm not putting them down, but the reality is that we can't keep on just opting for numbing out the pain and going in and doing surgery, because it just causes more scar tissue and it makes us into cripples. Look at, God created an amazing body, and as soon as you become the master of that body, you will heal yourself. I'm telling you. And so whether we're talking about the joint or we're talking about diverticuli in your intestines, it's going to heal. Now, you want to do things that are going to be soothing when you have inflammation. So that's why we're not going to do anything aggressive. That's why you're also not going to do broccoli or cauliflower when you have diverticulitis. Any type of inflammation in your intestines, you're not going to take a hard, fibrous food, but you could steam spinach. You know, you could take greens and make green juices. You know, you could take blender drinks of fruit, antioxidants, which are so healing, and mix those with black gold, and mix it with some almond milk, mix it with some protein powder if you want. But these are the things that are going to nourish and heal. And you could use things like different types of soups. And just don't do the real fibrous materials. That's all. Okay, and if you take a look at the Perfect Day diet on about page 3940, you know, you can go through that. And then if you want to give me a call. I'm going to answer your questions. We always do. We're going to help you along the road here. Whether you believe this or not, I know I'm in the health business, but I'm in the business of health. Do you understand? And we're in the business of helping everyone. The whole world needs help right now. The whole world needs Braveheart warriors. And it doesn't mean that everything we do, we've got to get paid for it. We do not need to do that. Okay? Right now, people are in trouble. And I'll tell you right now, we need Braveheart warriors everywhere to help. Okay? And I truly mean this. I'm also seeing a gene specialist, and they want to do surgery for endometriosis, and my hip, back, and pelvis are constantly in pain. Okay, do whatever you want. You want to go to a surgeon, go to a surgeon. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not telling anybody what to do, but I don't know. Have you ever noticed that the more you go to and look for answers about your body and put it in their hands, you're either getting a drug or surgery? Laura, what do you want? You know, if you're not doing the Perfect Day and not doing and going through the masterclass, A to Z wellness masterclass, and you're not doing the 12 loving steps in the Braveheart guide in the library, you know, if you're doing this has got to come down. You're eating cookies, you're eating crackers, you're still having a glass of wine, or you're totally stressed out and you have a dysfunctional relationship with your husband and your kids. There's something going on here, because I'm telling you something, God does not create junk, and nature heals, nature loves, and your body loves you. So what part of you, what is going on in you, what belief inside of you is not allowing you to love you, not allowing you to take enough personal action to do this? You know, if you want to keep going to these guys, I don't know. You know, it's called red pill or blue pill. That's entirely up to you. But the reality is, I don't know. Okay. Patricia, how to treat fibromyalgia and pain? Well, here we go again. Fibromyalgia just means, okay, fibro is fiber, which is, guess what? Inflamed fibers. That's all you got. That's all it means. Fibromyalgia means fiber muscle pain. So you don't have fibromyalgia. You've got fiber muscle pain. You're making too much scar tissue, and you've got inflammation, and it's bouncing all over your body. So there's chaos going on here, okay? So that's what that is. And as far as the pain goes, we already know that's inflammation, love. And let me tell you something. Nobody out there, don't ever think when I'm talking that I'm talking down to you or that you are dumb or you just don't get it. No, look at this is a new language called I will honor, protect, respect, and love my body and become my own practitioner. It doesn't happen overnight. It's like, Darrell, I want to teach you German. Yeah, okay, like that's going to happen. You know, it's difficult. But understand, that's why I did the library. That's why I did the master class. I've got 2 more master classes coming. I Am Woman, and the other one is the emotional intelligence of cancer. So look at, they're coming for you, and I'll have them to you within the next 7 to 8 months, all of them. We can do this together. Just be patient and be calm. When you push the panic button, you'll get fibromyalgia. When you push the panic button, you'll be in pain. When you push the panic button, you will do things and you will regret them. Don't ever forget who created you. Again, I would tell you with the fibromyalgia that please go through the Perfect Day guide and take a look at the diet and go through the loving steps and then go to the A to Z guide. Guys, I keep mentioning these things because if you'll just do that for me first, and then I want you to challenge the heck out of me. Okay? Until I'm wrong, I'm right. And when I am wrong, let me know. And together we'll work on this thing. Okay? I truly mean that. Lara from Facebook asks, what is the best food for healing the intestines, specifically colitis? Okay, well, colitis, diverticulitis, ileitis, are we there yet? It's all about inflammation. This is autoimmune disease, and this is caused, especially colitis. It just means mean colon, itis meaning inflammation in your colon. Okay, and it usually happens right underneath on the ribs, by the ribs, under the left-hand side. Okay, the waist gets caught here. All right. Now, what is the best way? Soothing things. So why don't you do blender drinks like with, let's say, almond milk or coconut milk or oat milk with berries, okay? And do that with berries. I would also put black gold in there that I talked about earlier. We also have a magnesium that I'll put in there to relax things, okay? But understand, you can't have colitis unless you had constipation first. Well, that's not true. Yes, it is. And understand something. With most bowel problems, it's because you're not willing to let go. I just can't seem to get it out. I'm having trouble. I'm constipated, right? Now, that doesn't mean, though, when you do get colitis, trust me, you're going to get diarrhea, too. Why? Well, because constipation causes diarrhea, okay? It's like when your bowel becomes overloaded with toxins and you're reabsorbing waste, all the other organs have a meeting with the brain and they go, we are getting so toxic. The colon is absorbing, because colitis means that you've just ruined the lining and now you're reabsorbing waste through the lining, okay, into your abdominal cavity, into your bloodstream, and you're also backing it up on the liver, backing up the lymph system, right? And that means the kidney's got to take a beating. So everybody gets together and tells the brain, give this person diarrhea. And so all the water goes down to the bowel to flush the waste out, okay? And I mean, after you have diarrhea, you feel weak, don't you? But you feel better, okay? Because you've brought down your toxic load, bring down the inflammation. But we don't need to do that. That's like the person who says, oh, I'm going to do a cleanse every 6 months. Why would you do that? Pile up all this crap. Why don't you learn how to create the perfect day on an emotional, physical level, and then you own your life? I don't want practitioners or the medical system to own you. I don't want me to own you. I don't want you coming to me, whether you like me or you like my products. You should be able to get on a maintenance of the products after a while, and you should be able, that's why we do these personal treatment and trainings, and people come from all over the world. They bring their families. We have a family coming in tomorrow. Okay? So every week we have a couple coming in, or we have a caretaker looking after someone coming here, or we have families coming here to learn how to do the Wolfe non-surgical deep tissue therapy on each other, and learning emotionally and nutritionally and physically how to detox each other and to support each other instead of attacking each other. Wouldn't that be a world, eh? Okay, so where was I? I just think I just lost my train of thought here for a second. Colitis. So it's an inflammatory problem. So again, we're not going to do the really heavy fibrous foods. Again, we're going to do things that go in there and soothe, right? But like I said, black gold, tummy love. And if you've got colitis and you've got constipation, I would take a look at the daily cleansing tea, but only do like a couple ounces twice a day and go really slow with that. I would look at things like bananas. You can do things like whole grains are great. You can do things like leafy greens and fruits. Don't do heavy things like meat. That would be a mistake. If you had to do protein at all, maybe look at fish. Try to get it as fresh as possible. But just remember something. How many cadavers can you eat without creating a bacterial problem in your large intestine when you already have a bacterial problem in your large intestine? Okay? And remember something. I didn't mention it, but if you want to put out a fire, you use water. And if you're going to do it, use structured water. Structured water is called fourth phase water. Dr. Darrell Wolfe is known as the godfather of water. Go figure, right? And he'll tell you that fourth phase water is the best water that you could ever drink. And that's the same thing that nature makes, like rain. Rain is structured. That's why it can have heavy metals in it, chemtrail chemicals in it. Why isn't it hurting the birds, bees, flowers, trees, and you? Because it's structured. Even though there's still poison in it, even though you take in the water, it doesn't poison the body. That's the miracle of frequencies. That's the miracle of our Creator. And that's what we do with structured water. And the water goes in this end and comes out this end. Okay, this is a hard acrylic one. It'll last you for life, right? And I use this in India, China, everywhere I go, Mexico. And if you're going, well, I wouldn't do that. Well, unless the water comes out and it's a dirty color or yellow or something, I'm not going to do it. But then I would go and get bottled water, but I'd still run bottled water through here because bottled water is carcinogenic. And if you think you can trust mankind, you can forget that one. That's over a long time ago. All right? And then I have another one here. This is made out of surgical stainless steel, and this is gold plated, which gives a higher frequency, but they both structure. You'll see them on my website. All right, let's keep moving. Boy, you guys are really coming in live. You know what? We've got a lot of questions here. I'm going to answer all the live ones and keep them coming. This is fantastic. You know what? The day that you decide to opt in and ask your questions, that's when you're going to get wise about yourself. And you know what? Demand health. Demand it. Take massive personal action. And you're doing it. I love it. Can we fix facet syndrome with your techniques? Now, I think she means facet, the vertebrae. So what happens is, and if I'm wrong, please let me know, but you have vertebrae, then you have what you call your disc. When they say you slipped your disc, well, nobody slips their disc. What do they do? Fall down your pants? It's in your sock? There's no such thing as a slipped disc. What there is there's dehydration, okay, calcification, scar tissue formation, and inflammation around the joint because it's usually the lumbar part of the back, okay? It can be anywhere in the whole spine, but the lumbar part of the spine is usually the part they want to fuse all the time or put a rod in. And that's because the calcium gets pulled from the vertebrae to help to come around the disc area and into the disc to try to calcify it because it's getting weak in there because it's inflamed all the time and it gets crystallized and the body makes scar tissue to send it there. Now, can you fix it? I'm going to tell you something right now. I would love for someone to come. I won't charge you. And we'll do a live video, and I'll go in on your lumbar. It's usually 3, 4, and 5, and I'll go in there for 20 minutes, and I will 80% already bring it back. The problem is the discs get compressed and dehydrated, and a lot of times people, their abdominal muscles are weak. Okay, here's the deal. You're gonna love this one. Honey, don't break your back. That's right. And here's how it works. Your abdominal muscles, not only do they house your large intestine house 85% of your immune system, but your abdominal muscles are what get you out of bed. They get you off the toilet. They actually get you to pick up boxes. They get you to pick up your grandchildren. Guess what? Your tummy's hanging out. It's fallen down and out. You have no strength. Your back is busting. You know what? You will not have a back problem unless you have a large intestine problem that you've been leaking your own waste into your body for years. If you got a back problem, let me tell you, if you've got a prostate, it's inflamed. If you've got a bladder, it's inflamed because of the waste that if it's going in on your back, it's going into your pelvis too, and it's creating inflammation. If you've got ovaries and a uterus and fallopian tubes, trust me, they're on fire, and you've got fibroids in there. Understand, fibroids are caused from inflammation, but the inflammation is caused from infection. The infection comes from the large intestine that is caused from the putrefaction. Because where'd the putrefaction come from? From the stagnation, because you're rotting. Wow, am I ever. Okay, armpits stink. Groin stinks. Bowel movements stink. Okay, breath stinks because hot air rises. We're rotting. Okay, we are a spoiled, rotten nation. Hey, don't worry. We'll take care of your health. Don't worry. We'll take care of your finances. We'll take care of your family. How's that working out for you? Let me tell you something. You got to take your life back. And if you tell me I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, you're in trouble. That's what they want. That's what they want. You better find the time, connect to your breath, calm yourself down, go baby steps. I'll help you, but just take it baby steps. I learned this through baby steps. You don't think I have had chaos in my life? You don't think I've had trauma in my life? You don't think people pass on in my life? And how you process everything that is a crisis in your life, you actually believe that every time there's a crisis, the more you suffer, the more human you are. You're so wrong. You're so wrong. To honor, respect, and love yourself first and foremost is not a sin. And sin only means missing the mark. All right. Okay, here we go. I'm just trying to keep up here, guys. You guys are amazing today. Okay, Patricia, fibroid. Okay. I have, Sarah, I've just stopped eating sugar but would get a lot of eczema when I ate it. Is it inflammatory? Well, actually, no. What happened is okay, there's kind of a sequence here, okay? So we know that your good bacteria are the most intelligent part of the body. Go figure, isn't that something? And meanwhile, we're trying to kill them. Okay, all right. So the good bacteria, and you have bacteria everywhere in your body. They're on your skin, they're on your eyelids, they're everywhere. They're in my mouth, they're in my nose. You know, we are like, people say 37 trillion. I say, let's just say 50 trillion cells, but we're 500 trillion bacteria. 500 trillion. We're walking globs of bacteria, okay? And what happens is, first your bacteria get damaged. And let's put it this way. If I come home and I'm nasty to you and I feed you garbage all the time, how's our relationship going to be? I'm not nice to you and then I feed you garbage. How's that going to be? Well, our relationship's going to really not be that great, right? Okay, so what happens is your bacteria are morphing and they're pissed, okay? They go from good guys to bad guys, okay? Well, she used to love me, but now she's always nagging at me. Well, yeah, well, that's probably because you're really not there for her, okay? All right, so now what happens is that they start to morph because they want to survive, but they can't survive in the environment that you're giving them, which is a constipated, toxic, environment. You're probably throwing antibiotics at them, which has got to be the worst thing that you could ever do. And meanwhile, you'll get that and you'll get your antibiotics and all your animal products, from your dairy to your meat products to your chicken, unless it's been raised with love and care. But not just that, but we have all those cadavers that are inside of our large intestine. And as far as I'm concerned, the older you get, the less you should be eating animal products. You just can't digest them properly. But let's get back to the bacteria. So the bacteria, they get damaged first. And understand something, you can believe it or not believe it, but only 10% of the population to 15% of the population have 80% of their bacteria is good and 20% bad, which is a great combo. But it's actually the other way around, and that's a study that was done. 80% of the population are bad bacteria and only 20% good, which means then the yeast that you need to have in your large intestine, okay, to help to process the foods, and it has a lot of other jobs, the yeast turns into fungus. There's your problem. So when you did the sugar, you fed the fungus, okay? It's like, you're sitting there and you're watching TV and you go, every night around 8:30, honey, do you want a glass of wine, or do you want to make some popcorn, or do you want some taco chips, or do you want some chocolate? Okay, so what happens around nighttime too, it'll happen throughout the day, but the fungus is craving to breed and to eat. And that's why we go for the carbs, we go for the sugar, processed foods, things, alcohol. And understand something, today, Patrick Quillen, you'll see him on my show on Wednesday, and he's always said, you can drink wine like a glass of wine. I'm telling you, you can't. You cannot drink a glass of wine if you have a candida problem. And if you're drinking a glass of wine every day, you're an alcoholic. And also, if you already have an autoimmune disease, the alcohol is going to feed it. So there's a difference between a glass of wine and kombucha tea. Are you with me so far? I hope so. Okay. And where were we here? So eczema. So eczema is the little brother to psoriasis. Did you get that? They're the same illness. So when we're all said and done, and a pimple could be like the little brother of eczema, because it's all about infection, isn't it? Now the problem is if you've got eczema on your skin, that means that you're running rampant with fungus in your intestine, which is drilling holes through your intestine, and that's how the fungus got into your bloodstream, and now it's coming out through your skin. How do you like that? Just like the person with eczema, it'll go to psoriasis, which is a thicker scab, and then guess what? Then you'll get toenail fungus, and when you got toenail fungus, the chances of you passing away because of cancer is too high. I don't even want to talk about it. And people don't like that. Last time I said that if you've got toenail fungus, you have a high risk of dying of cancer. I had somebody call me up and they just took a piece off of me. And I think it scared them. And the only reason why you should be scared is if you're not willing to change your personality, to change your reality, to get rid of the fungus. Because I'm right about the fungus. Okay? All right. So again, we're back to the rules that we've been talking about, right? Frank from Facebook, what would you suggest for Parkinson's disease? Well, first of all, everybody's different, and I've worked with a lot of Parkinson's, and we know that we blew the nervous system out, okay? We know they're highly acidic. We know that there's a lot of calcium being pulled from the bones. We know that the whole digestive tract is messed up. If the digestive tract never got messed up and the colon never got messed up and they never became highly acidic, and if they weren't stressing the living crap out of themselves and continually dumping adrenaline, cortisol, do you actually think they'd have Parkinson's? It's not like you stepped into it. Okay, so Parkinson's is where the digestive tract's blown out, the nervous system's blown out. Okay, so everybody's an individual. I would say go to the Perfect Day diet, take a look at that. I would definitely look at doing the ultimate coffee enema. And believe it or not, I would want to do some juice fasting with this person, but I would also want them to take a look at SAC calcium right away. I'd want them to look at ATP right away. I'd want them to look at structured water right away. And we would start with that and getting the minerals back into them. Okay. I have a really unbelievable mineral complex. I've been working on it for 2 years. We'll have it out in about 6 weeks. And this mineral complex is not expensive. And it's got, how about 72 minerals in this mineral complex? There's nothing like it. Okay? And these are simonium minerals. I'll be talking about them as we get closer to releasing the product. All right. Karen from Facebook, please share your opinion of fructose intolerance. I can't seem to handle much fruit. Even one banana makes me bloated. I suspect dysbiosis. You hit it right on the head. And the reality is you're needing more fiber, and you need to be more on the vegetable train. And carrot juice wouldn't bother you, but the fruit, believe it or not, the fruit is not making you worse. It's you are so full of fungus, girl. That's what's going on. It's a fungal situation, and we can change that. Again, I'm going to come back to the daily cleansing tea because I'm trying to keep it simple and inexpensive to start, to show people that we can do this. The daily cleansing tea, the black gold, the tummy love is a good place to start. And these foods will not react as much, but here's the deal. The problem is most people don't realize that every time you're bloated, that's inflammation. Every time you're cramping, that's inflammation. Okay? Every time you have heartburn, that's inflammation. Okay? Every time you have GERD, that's inflammation. Okay? Do I need to keep going? So diarrhea, inflammation, constipation, inflammation. But the reality is that we actually start getting scar tissue and adhesions in our abdomen. And those scar tissue and those adhesions, believe it or not, are slowing down your digestion. And that's why I tell people to do the belly button therapy. That's why I tell them go to watch the Holy Grail of Healing, and I promise you, do everything. Do the pelvic activation squat. Get yourself a pelvic expander. Do the belly button therapy. Start loving your abdomen, okay? Because it is the Holy Grail of healing. And if you don't do that, your pelvis is going to be on fire, which it is with most people. Why do you think prostate inflammation has gone up in the last 5 years by 40%? Wow. When you realize that 8 out of 10 men are going to have prostate problems, well, yeah, it's got nothing to do with what they eat. It's got nothing to do with constipation. No, it's got to do with hormones. You're going to tell me that breast cancer is a hormonal thing. You're going to tell me that ovarian problems is a hormonal thing. And I'm going to tell you that it's not. It doesn't start off that way. It starts off as an infection to inflammation, and then it becomes a hormonal thing. You've got to go back to the infection and inflammation and then see if you even need to do anything to balance the hormones. Because understand something, we're on fire. Okay? Good. We're back to this. All right. I have arthritis in my hands, knuckles, thumbs. They're getting so big, it's painful. I'm trying to eat healthy. Any suggestions? Okay, first of all, I have arthritis in my hands, knuckles, and thumbs. Okay, arthritis, joint, itis, inflammation in the joint. Wow. You know what? I'm going to tell you what. I can't do it today, but what I will do, I will show you how to do one-shot therapy, and you can do it for yourself on your hands. I don't know when I'll do it. I don't want to make any promises. I already promised somebody I was going to show how I do my rebounding, which I'm going to do sometime this week. Yan and I will set it up, and I'll show you how to do that. So it will be up on Facebook and Instagram, how I do my rebounding. I'm going to show you my whole exercise routine. I don't know when, but we'll get there. The little train that could. So understand, the knuckles are getting bigger and swelling because of inflammation. Wherever there's inflammation, there's going to be like water and white blood cells going there, but mainly it's scar tissue, calcification, and crystallization. And that's why you have these big lumps. And you can actually restore, you give me somebody with hammer hands or terrible arthritis, and we can restore that. Yes, you can. If you understood, the body always overcompensates when healing. So if the inflammation never goes away, it's always in the healing process. So if it's always in the healing process, it's always sending calcium. It's taking it from the joint. Let's say if you had it right here. It was in the joint. It's taking the calcium from this joint out of the joint and trying to buffer the inflammation here. Scar tissue is being wrapped around and crystallization. That's why I have a big fat joint. It's not rocket science. So now go ahead and take medication. Go ahead and have acupuncture. Go ahead and do whatever you do. But until you go in there and start pulling the scar tissue apart, putting the calcium back into the bones, and melting that crystallization, good luck. Okay, but understand something. Let's look at the mind. Let's look what's going in the mouth. So check the perfect day, check the Braveheart 12 loving steps in the library, and then go and sign up for the A to Z Wellness Masterclass and read the first 20 pages, from page 5 to 25, okay? And then go in the perfect day at 37 and read 20 pages, and then call me up and tell me I'm wrong. And then try this stuff. And here's the problem. Most of you will never get well because your family's not going to buy into this. How do I compete against a multi-trillion-dollar business, media, pharmaceutical, food industry, and I'm just this guy, this wacky nutritional guy, who's just da-da-da. And then you got to go home to 3 to 5 of your family and your friends that think you're crazy when you start loving yourself. There's the craziness. That's the stuff right there. Okay, now, so those are the things you need to do, okay? All right, Karyn? Jackie, could you please talk about calcification of the abdominal aorta, iliac artery, and full hysterectomy? What can a woman do after one, as it really affects one's health? Oh, let me tell you something. Go ahead, have a cesarean. Go ahead, have an appendix operation. Go ahead, have a heart surgery. Go ahead, have a hysterectomy. And you are going to leave behind massive scar tissue. Massive. And I'll tell you something. Goodbye proper digestion with a cesarean or a hysterectomy. Goodbye proper digestion. Goodbye love making. Okay. Hello pulling. Like there's knots in here. Indigestion. Poor circulation. Bloating. I mean, I could keep going and going and going with this. And understand something. Guys, here's the problem that everybody has. You know what? Dr. Wolfe doesn't know much. He keeps telling us to do the same thing. I think that he's not very well educated. Well, you're probably right. The thing is here is, do you ever think that maybe you're a little bit confused? Did you know that there's 200 different cancers? Did you know they all start the same way? Did you know that it's all about inflammation nation? Did you know that if you embrace yourself into nature and you do the steps that I'm saying, I can tell you the same thing to do for 1,000 different things. It's almost the same. There's going to be some alterations because we all have different personalities, okay? And conditions do vary, but the reality is our creator that created the universe is not like mankind that's not kind, that is a big BSer. Oh, I meant dysfunctional belief systems out there, because every new virus and every new bacteria gets a new drug. Every new condition, because we have a few different symptoms, gets a new name that gets a new drug. Are you confused yet? So if you think that I'm going to continue to know every drug that comes out and every new name of every new disease, no, I'd drive myself nuts. There's not a medical doctor that can even keep up with it. He just gets the letters and he gets the memos on what he needs to do and say. Tell me I'm wrong. All right. So, as far as it goes, understand something. If you've had a hysterectomy, I will tell you right now that if you learn how to do the Wolfe non-surgical deep tissue therapy, if you were to come here with your husband or we were to come to you and do a PTT, we're going to turn it around. You're going to turn it around. We're going to teach you about detox and diet and emotions and how to lovingly pull that scar tissue apart and return it back into connective tissue. So, yes, why don't you get a treatment, Jackie? One treatment, and when we get done that one treatment, you're going to say, yes, it's tender, but wow, I feel free. Do you know what every woman says that has had a cesarean or had a breast surgery or has had a hysterectomy? I feel free. Don't believe me, but that's what they say. I feel free. If you don't feel just amazing, like wow, then don't pay us. All right. Peter, what is your take on Kagen water? I've said this before, guys. You know what? I think Kagen water is a good filtration system. It's an antioxidant water. You can make alkaline water, but no, nothing comes before structured water. So if you've got a Kagen, then structure the water and see the difference, all right? I'm not against it, and if you'd ever want to get a structured water unit, don't. But understand something. That is what is made in the atmosphere for rain. That's what protects the planet. It's good enough for that. It's good enough for me. And it's good enough for Dr. Gerald Pollack. He doesn't talk about Kangen water. All right? There's a lot more money to be made in Kangen water. This unit here is going to cost you $400 and last you for life. Okay? This unit here is, I think, a couple $100 more, and these both will last you for 10 lives. So what are you going to do? Right? It's too simple, right? That's what it is. It's just too simple. But I'm not downing it. Okay? The Kangen water people are getting the word out. They're getting people off of bottled water, getting people off of bottled water and other waters that aren't as healthy. End of story. So it's not about us against Kangen. We're all in this together to make a difference, and that's good enough for me. Mary Wells, you said drink essential oil infused in water. What's a good brand? Ours is a good brand. If you don't believe that our essential oils are as good as any other brand, I'll refund your money. Our oils have been made by the same alchemist for 32 years, and nobody's going to beat our price and our quality. I already know that. I'm not an MLM. I'm not a big corporation, but I know what I'm doing, and I only get the best products. Mary Wells, what fermented things like kombucha, would they be good to drink? Yeah, they would. I can drink one, but if I drink more than a small kombucha, it turns on me. Okay, I'm a blood type A, and I think I had fungus really bad when I was younger, and some people it turns on. Just like I can't do apple cider vinegar, guys. It does not do well. I'm a blood type A negative. You know, and some people can do apple cider vinegar, no problem. They love it. That's great. I can do a little bit. I can't overdo it with the lemon. I was doing like 1 shot ounces of lemon when I was in Mexico, and boom, I just couldn't do it. Whereas O-type can get away with it. So I have to go a little bit easier, right? Because like O-types, they're like cave people. They could eat a dinosaur's butt on the run. Okay, so Tony, Facebook, I have some strangely shaped red blood cells and was told there's no pathology with them, so nothing is wrong. Also well, I don't know about that. You know what? Maybe they don't have an illness, dude. If you're going to the medical system, there's nothing wrong. If you were to go to somebody who does live blood cells, they would tell you there's probably fungal problems, low in oxygen, or something's going on here. So, you know what? Different story over here, different story over there. All right? I would rather go get my get live blood done, okay, and check it out. That's what I would do. Can you build white blood cells? Absolutely. So stop stressing yourself out emotionally and make sure you're drinking lots of water. You're going, what, for blood cells? Yes. And the other thing is, the more you reduce your inflammation, the more your blood cells are going to come back, because your blood cells are going to get the living crap kicked out of them if there's an infection all the time. That's just logical. So the best thing you could do is stay connected to your breath and embrace yourself to Mother Nature. Gosh, Mother Nature. Mother Nature, isn't that amazing? Wow. You know, the further we get away from nature, the more trouble we get in with our white blood cells. Isn't that something? And the other thing is turn your Wi-Fi off at night. Stop looking at your phone with blue light unless you get Tesla glasses. And if you work on a computer, you're kicking the crap out of your white blood cells. And you just destroyed your endocannabinoid system if you look at a blue light continually. I'm in blue light right now, but understand something. I wear Teslas all the time, my Tesla eyewear. I put fulvic nano eye drops in my eyes. I put silver in my eyes. So I protect myself at least. Anyways, that's not what we're talking about. Let's get back to this. Yeah, I don't feel satisfied with the answers from the doctors. Well, I wouldn't feel satisfied from the answers from the doctors either. They're very limited. I mean, how limited are they? You're actually going to what you call a doctor, and they know nothing about health. Isn't that amazing? Wow. Confusing, I'd say. Alex, how you doing? I have a ton of mucus. Wow. Well, if you have a ton of mucus, that's because what? You got irritation. Oh, wait a minute. You got inflammation. Oh, wait a minute. You got tons of infection. So first you got to have infection, then you're going to have irritation, then you'll have inflammation. Now you got mucus. I already told you earlier, the mucus is created to coat the lining. You're burning the lining out, dude. And you don't want to destroy these cells. I mean, these cells will mutate. So what do you want? Tons of mucus or mutation? It's your choice. I'm constantly spitting up throughout the day. I'll just be minding my own business. I'm sure you are. And, I get people calling me up and saying they're going to, at nighttime, they choke on their mucus. Well, that's because their body keeps making mucus because you're so inflamed. I would slowly feel it build up in my mouth, very slimy and thick. Well, of course it's thick. It's got to stick to the walls and try to stop all that inflammation and toxic lifestyle you're living. And if you say you're not, then you're definitely terrorizing yourself on a mental level. So what are your fears? What do you hate? What's got you depressed? Hey, Alex, do you actually know that you're amazing, that you have unlimited potential? Are you going around doing this? I got this. I got this. That's the old me. I'm not going to think like that anymore. I got this. I know what I want. I'm only going to focus on what I want. 3, 2, 1. Okay, the next time you get really, you feel anxiety coming on, fear, just go 3, 2, 1. I got this. And see, just do just that. 3, 2, 1. I got this. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. I've been wearing this love band for so long and doing it for so long that I don't, even when my arm goes past, it says Braveheart 3, 2, 1. I got this. You can call up if you want. If you order from us, we'll throw a bunch in, or you can get them from our fulfillments. I think you just go online and you can do it. Okay. But, if you've got like a bunch of school kids or your church or your community or your family, if you call me up here and you pay the shipping, I will send as many as you want as long as I know you're going to use them. Okay? We are in this together. And I'm telling you something. There's a brave heart in here. And if you feel that you can't heal, if you feel that you're not loved, then guess what? You got screwed. You got screwed and tattooed and lied to. That's not true. That's not true. You are a beautiful, beautiful human being, and there are people out there that will love you. So many people will love you. You can fall in love every day, and people will fall in love with you every day as soon as you fall in love with yourself every day. That's the key. Fall in love with yourself. People think that if I fall in love with myself, I'm selfish. Well, we'll see. Well, how's that working? Love is the answer. Who in the heck made that up? That's so goofy. Let me tell you something. Self-love is the answer, and then you shine that like a Braveheart warrior on everyone else and teach everyone to love and respect themselves. Because guess what? People don't go and drink alcohol until they have alcohol poisoning and do drugs that harm them and eat crap until they vomit and throw up or until they're even 20 pounds overweight. Meanwhile, there's how many people that are obese today? How about this? 60% of the population is obese. Holy crap. 80% of the population is overweight. Now, I'm not saying in every state and every province, but that's how bad it's getting. Okay? 1 out of every 4 children are obese. 3 out of 4 children are overweight. Wow. It's so crazy. You know what? We are just, the world as we know it is collapsing. Okay? And you don't see it falling apart. You don't see that your family's emotionally falling apart and on the edge. You don't see that they have addictive habits and they're just trying to hang on. Wow. How could we not? All right. How can I stop this? We're back to the mucus. I was told salt water gargle might help. Well, yeah, but guess what? It's coming from your bowel. You got to start from the bottom and work your way up. That's the deal. So let's get the cork out of your bum. Let's get rid of the dairy, scary dairy. Let's get rid of the bread. Let's get rid of all the refined processed foods, okay? Let's get rid of all the sugars, all right? Let's start drinking enough water. I mean, people think they drink water. I had a gentleman here the other day, weighs 260 pounds, and he was like blown up, and his back is totally frozen. And they were here for only 3 days. We put them on the perfect day diet, got them doing some things, drinking the water. And believe it or not, his tummy came down. He came down by 8 inches. I mean, so you understand it's gas. All right, we're blowing up. We're a manure pile. Now all the gas is piling up inside of us. But what I'm getting at here is that he was calcifying, crystallizing, tons of scar tissue going on. Okay, and he was in tons of pain. And he was miserable. I mean, he was in so much pain that life is a miserable thing. And I told him that it gets on my protocol that within 6 weeks he'll want to live, and in 3 months he will know that he can thrive again. So that's the deal. So what you got to do, okay, I was told salt water. I also, a side note, when I drink pop, beer, or milk, very rare that I do that, it feels like my mouth filters something out that becomes mucus in my mouth. Okay, here's the deal. When you've got an autoimmune disease, which you do, my friend, I can have 10 pops, you can have one. Okay? I could drink 10 glasses of milk, you could have one, and it's still going to blow you apart. But I would never do that anyways, because I'm not going to hurt myself like that. Banana, well, the banana's already sticky if you were to mush it. And it's because you don't have enough water. Okay, your body can't make enough water. All it's doing is taking all your energy and making mucus, because you're in big trouble. You're on fire. Okay, something's going to go wrong, and it's not going to be good. Right now, if you were under my care, I would say I want you to do the perfect day for 10 days. Then we put you on carrot juice. There's other things. I just want to lightly go over this. I put you on carrot juice for 6 days. And then if you were a Braveheart hero, I'd put you on advanced water fast for 6 days. It's done. It's over. It's turned around. And then, of course, we're going to get the cork out of your bum, because we got to get you cleaning. You know what? Let me tell you something. Look at it this way. What do you think I should do? The tub is full of dirty water. Do I go and take a cup and just put it into the toilet or the sink, keep cupping it out? Or should I reach down to the bottom and pull the cork in the bottom of the tub and let it just drain naturally? Okay, that's why you need to clean your colon. That's why you need to do the ultimate coffee enema. I'm not shoving nothing up my butt. Well, go ahead, then don't. Then guess what? Your liver's so backed up and toxic and so gucked up that if we did some coffee enemas and we did some colon cleansing, got you on the perfect day, you'd have your life back. You'd walk around with a smile, and people would want to be around you, because right now you're not having a good time. And nobody likes somebody miserable, except somebody else that believes that's all they deserve is a miserable person around them. Okay? That's how it goes, you know? Cindy, can we sleep with the bodyguard? Absolutely. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. When I started sleeping with the bodyguard, I will tell you that I felt like I was dreaming deeper and more dreams. But now it's, so I don't know. You know, even the inventor, Peter Webb, says that, you know, you could be a little bit like this. If it bothers you, don't wear it then. But I like wearing it. I don't like taking it off. I like hacking things. I don't like to do any more than I have to. Okay, I like to just do things that are fun. So I try not to do a lot of different things in my life. I go, okay, how can I not have to do that? How can I do this to make it easier? That's just who I am. Okay? So no, I just wear the bodyguard 24/7. All right? And, okay. Colette, how you doing, Colette? Regarding negative frequencies, which I'm probably affected by when I'm driving, I spend over an hour total minutes driving back and forth to work Monday, Friday. What can I do to help myself? Well, first of all, you need to have this. You need a bodyguard. You really do. There's Wi-Fi in all cars now. You do know that, right? And cars are running off by electrical now more than anything. And so I would definitely do that. And then online, go on Amazon.com and go on there and go car ozonator. And where the lighter goes, you could put in a little car ozonator and plug that in. And they really do work. And I don't think you'll have any problem, to be honest with you. But I do believe that do the bodyguard and tell me if you're feeling better and if you're not. Oh, and the other thing, when you're driving, you got to be drinking. You know, I was talking to this truck driver, and he's got a big problem, okay? So he has these schedules, and he'll drive for like 14 hours straight, 15 hours straight. And, you know, trying to get somebody to change and say, pull over and pee behind the truck, he wasn't going to do it. So I said, well, I want you to do, and guess what? So anyways, I tell you this. I told him to do this 6 weeks ago. So anyways, he's not just got constipation, he's got diarrhea, he's got heartburn, okay, and his blood pressure's going through the roof. So I told him that he has to load up with grapes, fresh fruit, and just some seeds, not nuts, too constipating. And I want him to drink a gallon of water to 6 quarts of water a day. And he's like, are you kidding? He says, I bet I don't even drink 40 ounces a day. This guy's like 6 feet tall, and he's almost like 280 pounds, right? So, that would be enough to keep his foot alive. So the reality is, I said, listen, what I want you to do. So I told him I get a big container. You see how big this is? I said, get the hole big enough. And he goes, why? I said, I want you to get a big container with a big hole that will hold I want it to be about a gallon or about 3 quart size. He goes, and then I want you to have another gallon of water that I'd like you to try to do anywhere from 4 to 6 quarts a day and work on this. And so he's putting fulvic in, and he's putting humic in because he was catching colds and flus a lot. So anyways, he goes, well, what's the other container for? And I said, well, you're never going to have to stop again, dude. So when you feel like you got to pee, you have one hand on the wheel, okay? You just pull your fly down and then just take that jug because it's got a big hole on it, and all you got to do is get it in about that far, and guess what? And he did that for 6 weeks, dropped 30 pounds. How's that? And his blood pressure came down, okay? All right? So we're on a roll. And he no longer has diarrhea because he only had diarrhea because he had such severe constipation, and he's going through about, how you like this, 4 to 5 pounds of grapes a day. But the reality is he's losing weight. So he still says he grabs his burger sometimes, which probably means every day. But the reality is we probably saved him from blowing up. I mean, what a mess if he blew up. Okay? All right. Okay, what is structured water and how is the best way about getting it? Well, I just, here it is. These are the 2 ways to get it. You can also get a house unit. You can get one for your pool. You can get one for your garden. It's all on my website under structured water. And if you go to, look on structured water, Dr. Jerry Pollack, if you go into my library, you go to the structured water guide. I have a structured water guide in there. And then you click on that and you'll see Dr. Jerry Pollack, the interview I did with him. Man, you want to learn about the science? He'll tell you the science. Okay? Poppy, I know you eat once a day, but if you were to eat breakfast, what would you eat? I'm a little confused about not combining starch and protein. Well, you just don't combine starch and protein. Okay? They're both, starch is a concentrated food, so is a protein. It's too much work. Starch foods take starch enzymes, proteins take protein enzymes. So if I take like rice and fish, it wouldn't be so bad, but if you have a digestive problem, you're done. You're not going to digest. You're going to be bloated. If I take meat and potatoes, I'm going to be a meat and potato man. I'm going to be bloated. I'm going to be, by the time I go to bed, I'm going to be in bed, you know what, farting. Even before I get to bed, I'm going to be bloated. I'm going to be burping. All right? So we don't, look at, when you do a starch, you can do salad. When you do protein, you can do salad. So if I was going to do meat, I would do like steamed vegetable and a large salad. Okay, if I was going to do like starch, I could do 2. I could do maybe some rice. I could do yam, and then I could do a salad. Do you understand? So you start mixing the starch and the protein together. They neutralize each other because they're too hard on the system, especially the older you get. And then you're going to have this digestive problem. Okay, first of all, I'm so used to it. I never do. I don't really want to eat in the morning. I never do eat in the morning. If you're going to eat in the morning, have a big bowl of fruit. If you're going to, you could have carrot juice. Like every day I like to do at least 2 quarts carrot juice. And then I like to do about, mixed with my humic and my fulvic and my other stuff. I like to put in essential oils and stuff like that. I'll drink about 3 quarts. So I drink about 5 quarts of liquid a day. And understand something. So far today I had a salad, just a little bowl of salad, right? That's all I had. And it must be close to 4:30. So tonight I don't know what I'm going to have. But the reality is that when you're tired, drink. Okay? When you're hungry, drink. Okay? When you're upset, drink. Cool yourself down. Cool the flame. All right? Let me see here. I'm a little confused about, okay, good. If I have oats and almond milk Is that a wrong combination? No, it's not. But if you want to detoxify, why don't you have your oatmeal at lunch? Why don't you try to do intermittent fasting? Take a look at the Perfect Day Guide and look how I have it laid out. Look at the information in there. All right, and it'll help guide you. Can I use the structured water unit when traveling in Africa? Yes, you can. If the water is not good enough, get bottled water and then run it through the structure unit, because you really don't want to be poisoned, do you? And that's the only way you're going to stop that. Hi, Dr. Wolfe. Do you recommend an all-around multivitamin and or mineral? Like I said earlier, the mineral, I'm going to have the least expensive, most powerful mineral complex, I believe, on the planet, and I'll have it in 8 weeks. Okay? And it's called Arsenonium Mineral Complex, and you'll see it when we launch it. Okay, black gold, unfortunately, stains my teeth. Well, black gold would never, you know what you're supposed to do with black gold? You're not supposed to put it in your mouth. You're not supposed to put it in water and drink it. You're supposed to take black gold, which is right here, and you can add it to your soups, and you can add it to your blender drinks. That's what you're supposed to do. And it'll never turn your teeth black. So that's just impossible. And if you actually took black gold and put it on your toothbrush and brushed your teeth, it's going to turn them white, and then you rinse your mouth. Okay, Roger, you mentioned from the previous Q&A that after a bowel movement, it may feel like it's not fully done, but nothing else comes out. How can I fix this? It's leaving, well, first of all, daily cleansing tea, black gold, tummy love, and you're not drinking enough water, and you're eating too much dead food. That's for starters. Do the belly button therapy. Look at the belly button therapy kit. Go and practice pelvic squatting, because we don't squat anymore. We sit on a toilet. But when you do pelvic squatting, you open up your pelvis and you open up your lower abdomen and you allow the energy to come in there. Listen, we're so jammed up tight in there. It's lucky anything comes out. Okay. But look at, again, the Perfect Day diet. And if you watch through this, Q&A, Roger, you'll see it. And also, like I keep telling everyone, if you opt into the library, the Perfect Day, and also look at Fasting for Perfect Health, look at the Perfect Day, look at the Braveheart 12 Steps, and then join the A to Z Wellness Masterclass. It's at the top of the page. Just type in master in the code, and it's yours, and then tell me that doesn't blow your mind. Okay, what precautions should I take living next to the power lines? Move. If I lived near a power line and I couldn't move, I would have a Wi-Fi. Take a look at my website. And I would also have a bodyguard and a protector, and then you are protected. But make sure you're drinking lots of structured water, because whether you believe this or not, structured water pulls the negative frequencies out of the fluid in the body, whether it's the spinal fluid, whether it's the cellular fluid, inter or extracellular, whether it's the blood, whether it's the lymph. Structured water is the key. Again, no offense, it's not the Kagen, it's the structured. But the Kagen water has antioxidants in it, so I'm not downing it, okay? Robin Truss, how are you? If you don't have a lot or can't afford too much, what is the best way you can bring up your vibrations? Smiling. Serving. What is your gift and what can you do for the world? What is your gift and what can you do for the world? And can you tell me, Robin, that you totally fill up your own heart with love, and that you totally love and honor and respect yourself, and that you have a slight smile on your face, and that you are connected to the lion heart breath, 6 seconds in, 7 seconds out. And when there's a problem, you just go 3, 2, 1, I got this. And the next time that somebody is stressing out, you're not going to. If you can't take personal action, you're going to leave the situation unless you can help. Why do you stay there? Why do you talk about things? Why do you do things that are negative? Why do you do it? Start questioning yourself. Let me tell you something. The biggest thing that you need to protect yourself against is yourself first and foremost. And do not let the outside world come into your home. You heard what I said. Well, you know what? And then I would get, maybe take a look at a bodyguard. if you're looking at that, because that's all about protection. A bodyguard will protect you 5 feet out, 5 feet up, and 5 feet down. And guess what? We've had testing done on it, and this is third party, and it protects up to 92%, okay, by creating that barrier. And it also has frequencies in it to help with your moods, help with your nutrition, help with your frequency. It really is amazing. If you don't like it, send it back. What would you suggest for Parkinson's disease? I answered the question already. When using the belly button stick for the first time, it feels full or maybe some resistance is there. Okay, when you first use it for the first time, remember something. You have tons of adhesions in you. I want you to know something, that the average person has 10 to 20 blocks in their body, whether it's in their joints or their abdomen or in their brain or in their sinuses. It's throughout the body, and it all depends on where the weak links are. When you first start doing with your belly button, be gentle, love yourself. Start doing all the moves. You'll see it on my website. Move it all around, and eventually you're going to be able to go deeper. When I do belly button therapy, I go deep enough that I can almost touch the back of my spine, and I think I actually do. Okay? And that's not because I'm abusing myself. It's because I'm in shape. I got this. When you start off with anything, gentle, baby, loving steps. Your subconscious, and anything that's new, your subconscious is going to try to get you to screw it up because your subconscious doesn't want anything new. So what you got to do is just do gentle baby steps, but do more each day until your subconscious goes, okay, I guess this belly button thing isn't going to kill you, so I guess we'll let you do that. Well, why do you think when I say something to somebody, well, I'd like you to do this or do that. Oh, I could never do that. That wasn't their heart. That wasn't their spirit that spoke. That was their subconscious that they don't know is ruling their whole bloody life. Your subconscious will rule, school, and fool you until you practice on taking control. Do you know how long it takes? 2 years. 2 years. It takes 9 months for you to start understanding that you are the master blaster and that you got this. But understand something. You're going to always struggle in life. Would you like to struggle and enjoy it, or would you like to struggle until you just wish that you were the hell out of here? So there's your choice. I had my tubes tied through my belly button 32 years ago, and I know no, trust me, you don't get your tubes tied through your belly button and you think that there might be scar tissue. Okay, Kimberly, if you're ever in the area that I am, we'll do a live FaceTime. I won't charge you, and I'll show you that in 15 minutes. I'll pull that major adhesion that's in your abdomen apart, and I'll do it with love and care, okay? All right, understand something. It's always a scar tissue issue because you've got issues in your tissues because your mind couldn't deal with it because you have dysfunctional belief systems from mommy, daddy, and society and from every other organization that wants to own you. Listen, everybody, almost the whole world has good intentions, but they have toxic beliefs. So understand something. I love everyone and I don't trust hardly anyone. And it's not because I don't trust you because I think you want to hurt me. I don't trust you because you're already hurting yourself. And you know what? Somebody the other day I was talking to a woman. She was talking about her mother and how it makes her sick that her mother won't look after herself. And I said, listen to me. You need to stop caring for people who don't care for themselves. What do you mean? I love my mother. I said, yes, but if your mother doesn't care about her health, well, because, but let me explain why, though. She says, I won't go visit her anymore. I moved out of the house, and I won't go visit her. I was living there. I said, listen to me. You need to move back and love your mother 100%. Yeah, I know, but you know what? Dr. Wolfe, she did your protocol. She was doing so great, and then she just went right off of it, and now she's getting a heart stent put in. I said, what, you want to punish her? I said, your mother was raised, okay, and tell me she wasn't. Your mother was raised to help everyone else except herself. Your mother was raised to love everyone but herself. Now, should we punish her for that? No. Well, then you move back home, and you love your mother, and stop talking about health things. Just talk to your mother about life and how beautiful she is and all the things she's done for you. And then maybe when you don't even bring it up, she might even move towards that even more. Anyway, she says, you know what? You're right. She did. She said, you're right. I understand now. I didn't realize that. I thought that getting upset with her was the thing to make her change. And I said, no. Getting upset with people never changes anyone. It causes problems. All right? Okay. Callipy? Sorry if I didn't pronounce it right. Do you have any suggestions on how to heal Raynaud's? Oh, yeah. Okay, so everybody, Raynaud's disease is characterized by spasms, right? And it's in the arteries of the extremities, so mainly in the hands. Okay, so this person's usually stressing out. You'll find big tension up in their shoulders. Okay, they have a very acidic diet, but the thing is they have a monkey mind. They're here, they're there, they're everywhere. And they also are very fearful. And when you're fearful, you're not dumping serotonin and dopamine. You're dumping adrenaline and cortisol, which is frying up and burning out your oxygen and your nutrition. But they're cutting off their brachial plexus here, which is cutting the circulation off too. And I guarantee you that if I were to lay this person down and do a heart release here, that their heart, over their heart, would be about a half an inch to an inch higher on their left side, even than on their right pectoral, even though they're right-handed, because guess what? They've never learned how to love themselves, and their heart gets damaged all the time, and they're stressed right out. So what do we got to do? Well, let's take a look at our diet. Let's, again, back to the perfect day, back to going to the 12 loving steps of the Braveheart, because if you're not connected to your breath, having a slight smile on your face, I got this. It's okay. The world's not ending. Do you know how often the world ends for somebody with Raynaud's disease? It's ending probably 30 to 50 times a day. How would you like your life ending that many times? It's amazing you have hands and they haven't fallen off yet. Okay, now with Raynaud's disease comes arthritis, comes stiff joints. So then we got to go in there and we've got to, you could do vascular flushing, where you're going to run warm water for 3 minutes, cold water for 1 minute, and do that about 3 or 4 times in a row, 3 or 4 times a day. You can also put essential oils on the area. If it was me, I would skin brush also my hands. I would do salt glows on my hands, just anything to get the circulation in there. But I would do curcumin cayenne 5000. I would be drinking lots of water, and I'd be getting off of every inflammatory food, and I would get rid of every inflammatory relative and friend I have, right? Okay, the ones that terrorize you, because you're going to have to learn how to calm down. If you get upset being around people, the same people all the time, what does that tell you? Well, if you're not going to change and learn how to be around them and be in a calm, peaceful place, then you've got to remove yourself. You've got to create an environment that's going to allow you to heal. What is the one simple thing for shingles? Well, vitamin A, yeah, that's good. Carrot juice. Curcumin cayenne, there it is right there. And structured water. You're going, what? And then also skin brushing every day and salt glows, because you really want to stimulate, right? If you do salt glows, you get the magnesium in to help to relax. Remember something, everybody with shingles, they went off their diet and they blew their nervous system out with some kind of stress. You know what? I used to get shingles. No, I never used to get shingles, but I used to get herpes breakouts. And herpes breakouts and shingles are really close related, okay? But with shingles, I know they're painful, and that's your nervous system blowing out. So you got to learn how to calm down, and lots of carrot juice, at least a quart a day, curcumin cayenne, drink lots of water. Again, get rid of the inflammatory diet. Now we're back to the stress thing again. And also, the SAC calcium for almost any condition. SAC calcium, you'll find it on our website. You'll have to call in for it because, believe it or not, we were actually made by the FDA to not allowed to put all the different products. We've got the calcium as Merigen, which is the most unbelievable thing for cancer and for any other type of autoimmune disease. We've got Cartigen for the joints, Dentagen for the jaw and for the teeth. All right. And if you really want to wipe out, your jaw and your teeth, then antibiotics will really do that. And also GERD, having that acidity always come up into your throat, which will also, if you get GERD and you get the acidity coming up into your throat, guess what happens? You have a 1,200% better increase of getting throat cancer too. So watch out for that. But anyways, those are the things that I would do for the shingles. And if you want to give me a call, I can go over it a little bit more depending on the condition. You know, we all have personalities, and every one of our personalities are different, aren't they? Because we all have different beliefs. You know why? Because we all have different beliefs. We perceive things differently. So we all have different illnesses. One person gets sick because of this, and the whole bunch don't. You know, everybody's different, okay? And then there's myself. I just don't get sick because I don't believe it. I only believe in, and the biggest thing you'll ever do is until chaos comes from the mind before disease comes to the body. Okay? All right. The Doc of Detox Library is phenomenal. Thank you, Colette. If a non-vax child contracts measles from a vaccinated child that's shedding, does the non-vax child have the proper strain of measles to get the health benefits of contracting wild measles? You know what? This is what people are worried about, that the actual vaccination from the measles is not the same as the measles in nature. So the problem is, if we contract measles that were made in a laboratory, will we be protected? They don't know. I can't answer that. And that would be for Del Bigtree. Del Bigtree will be back on my show in 2 months, okay? Andrea, how are you? Do all vaccines contain aborted fetuses? No, they don't. They're different. It depends on the vaccine. And again, that would be for Del. Del Bigtree. And if you want, go to Del Bigtree's show, High Wire, and get your mind blown. He just did a show last week that he'll blow your mind. Okay? Los Angeles, Lara, what's the best way to do a coffee enema? I have ordered. Okay, please go to the Perfect Day Guide. Look up the Ultimate Coffee Enema. It's step by step. How to even move, how to do it, what to do, when to do it. It's all there. All right, let's see what we got here. We're at the end, and I don't think I stopped talking. What do you think? my face is like on fire here. Well, as soon as I get done, I'm going to go and I'm going to drink probably about a quart of humic fulvic right away, and that'll just bring down the fire, wouldn't it? So when you get hot, you get fired up, you do that. Okay, we do have one. I had a hysterectomy, left with a growing scar tissue in the left side. Now I'm getting pain down my leg, of course. Okay, any surgery, all surgeries create the worst scar tissue in the human body. We already know that. Medical has already admitted it. You will grow 2 to 3 inch legs off of that will wrap around your organs, around bones, the bladder, the uterus, the ovaries, or wherever they are. You're going to get scar tissue, and you're going to get legs running from it. Okay? Now, she had a hysterectomy. Again, Thade, if ever you're in the neighborhood, come. And it would take me 25 to 40 minutes, and I will untie the whole thing. And then what will happen is we can show your husband or your girlfriend or whoever or your partner how to go in and take it to the home plate. But the reality is we'll get rid of at least 80% of that in the first treatment. And then you could do another treatment in about 5 to 7 days. But the reality is I'm going to show you how to do clapping and patting. And you can just, oh man, when people come to our personal treatment and training, we change their whole lives. Okay? Yeah, it cost a few $1,000s. When people find out the price, they're blown away because we are so reasonable. Okay? And when you leave, you will be the practitioner you were looking for. Karen, Facebook, what would be your approach to a cyst? My husband has one that came back bigger after being drained. Okay. First of all, it doesn't matter where the cyst is. The reality is this. When they go to drain it, when they go in and they poke it, they're going to create more inflammation. understand something, and please don't get me wrong. I know that there's times that we need to do things like that, and times when we need surgery. But the reality is you better make sure that you really truly need surgery and that you've looked at every other option, and or that you need to go and poke a needle into that cyst because you inflame it. You need to understand this. Every cell in the human body, which there's 50 trillion of those things, they're all live and they have consciousness. How would you like to be stabbed? Let's say, let's just I know I'm dramatizing. How would you like it if I stabbed you in the face? Would that freak you out, or would you just be okay with it? Well, understand something. When you go into a cell like that, you need to know how to calm it down. And the reality is you actually terrorized a living, conscious being. Oh yeah, that's a being. Like a cell is a being. It's alive. Okay, it has a digestive tract. It has everything the human body has, every cell has. So what happens is when they went in and poked it with the needle, they actually created the irritation to create the inflammation to bring the infection back. So believe it or not, no matter where the cyst is in the body, there's going to be scar tissue around it. If you go and work on that, you can actually have the cyst let go, and the pus will let itself go into the body, and it will drain out through the lymph system. But if you take a look at the diet, depending where it is, you'll find that most cysts, you can find them on the spine. That's a circulatory problem, or in the pelvis. And that's a circulatory problem. And both of those things can be so easily looked after. A cyst is just a pocket of pus. That's all it is. Okay? Remember something. You can either learn how to look after your body, or you can keep letting everybody else. How's that working? Okay? All right. So we've come to the end. I want to thank everybody. I hope that you don't have a cold and flu yet, because a lot of people are starting to get them. And what happened is we wear ourselves down. And understand, when you get sick, that's your body in a healing. Did you get that? Now, you can do things naturally, like doing coffee enemas, doing the daily cleansing tea, drinking more water, staying away from inflammatory products, or you can opt for drugs. That's your choice. You can either tell the body to shut up, okay, and try to fool it, but it's not getting well. It's going to be hard on you. I'm not telling you not to take drugs. That's just me. Go do whatever you need to do, all right? Drugs can help you get over the hump. But the reality is, wouldn't it be great to not be a druggie? And understand something. For every 10 years that a person is alive, okay, by the time they get to 40, they're on 4 medications. By the time they get to 50, they're on 5. By the time they get to 60, they're on 7. If you're alive still, you get to 70, you get to have 7. And 80, you get to have 8 different medications, which now you're a mad scientist, and God knows what you're even doing. And God knows even if you can even think properly. Okay? So understand something. The reality is, God gave you the body. It's not your fault if you're sick, and it truly isn't, but it's your responsibility to get well and stay well. And remember, the program that gets you well is the one that keeps you well. And yes, if you're good 90% of the time, you can cheat, treat, sweet. You can. Everybody does it. There's not a person out there that doesn't do it. Okay? A lot of us will opt for 4 inches of pleasure 10% of the time, but then there's most of the population opts for 4 inches of pleasure and 30 feet of hell almost all day long. And that's why you live in hell. Okay? Look at. Just want you to know that we're really truly here for you, and we always will be until we decide to leave the planet. Okay? And I want to thank you for joining me today. And don't forget to go check out the A to Z Wellness Masterclass. Go in, use the code MASTER, and then find out if we know what we're talking about. Challenge us, but please challenge yourself. And this week, Tuesday, 3 p.m., don't forget all you practitioners out there that are in my practitioner training or coming to my certifications. The meeting will be at 3 o'clock on Tuesday. Wednesday, it will be with Dr. Patrick Quillen, and it's 12 keys to a healthier cancer patient. Thursday, And then Thursday, January the 16th, we're going to do the Q&A. Okay? So we're here. We're going to keep training. If you'll keep listening, this is your show, everyone. Okay? And this Friday, I am doing another Doc Talk because it's usually Fridays that I do them on. I'm going to try to get back on schedule. All right? And when you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe below and make sure you click on the bell to enable notifications so that you never miss a show. And just know that all your questions matter. Okay? And that all our shows, when they go to YouTube, they're timestamped. So you can find your question at a particular place so that you don't have to rewatch the whole show. Okay? All right? You can also get email notifications by going to www.docofdetoxshow.com and clicking on the schedule and entering your email at the bottom of the page. I promise you, we will not hound you, but we will send you notifications just what shows are coming up, and then you'll never miss a show. And remember something, the power to heal is yours. Better still, stop giving it away. And remember, 3, 2, 1, we got this. Let me tell you something. We need Braveheart heroes, and we need a Braveheart hero in every family. So who's going to break away from the herd? Okay? We got the medical system. We got the CDC. We got everybody saying that we need herd mentality. No, we don't. We need individuality. Okay? And listen, and we need to get our immune systems back, but we will not have that unless we take massive personal action. God bless everybody. And thank you for coming on the show. And we wouldn't be here without you. Have a beautiful night. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.